What's up, peeps? Ryan from Detroit coming to you today. So today I want to talk to you quickly as I'm on my way back from the mailbox to the house because we got to run to the grocery store. I want to talk to you real quick about a piece of filmmaking gear that I find extremely crucial to my process, to my creative process, and just being able to turn a camera on and record anytime I feel necessary or feel some creative juices flowing, and that's the Sony RX100 Mark V. Now let me tell you why. Number one, the Sony RX100 is the best, in my opinion, pocket cinema camera available today. And number two, let me tell you why the Mark V is the only camera that I will buy for the foreseeable future until Sony comes out with something better. The Sony RX100, when you compare to the Canon G7X or you compare to the Lumix LX10, there's a few features on this camera that just make it the bee's knees. And this is number one. This camera, the focusing on this camera is fantastic. There really is no other pocket camera like the Sony that can keep focus on your face or eye focus, whatever you want to call it. There's no other camera on the market that's in this size that can do that. The second thing is the quality of the image coming off this 1-inch sensor is fantastic. And newsflash, that intro video, it was filmed on this, because this bad boy can fit in the mailbox. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. You get the same quality coming from this small of a body, this small of a camera, but it fits with the mail right in your pocket right there. So I love my Sony RX100, and I will argue with anyone that it's the best. Not really argue, but it just works for me. There are so many shots that I got on this camera because I had it with me, or because it was small, or because it was unobtrusive. There's too many to number. Also, yeah, I had to take a rest because this thing gets heavy when you're holding it with one hand, where this thing never gives you that fatigue. I will say the RX100 Mark V in particular is special to me because of two reasons. Number one, there is a built-in 3-stop ND filter. If you don't know what that means, basically the 24 frames per second frame rate that I shoot at, which is like cinema quality, film quality, and 1/50th of a shutter speed require some type of way to cut down the light coming into the sensor, or everything will be blown out, overexposed. That built-in ND filter does that, and the Mark VI and the Mark VII, Sony took it away for a longer lens, which brings me to my second point. This camera still has a 1.8 aperture lens. All the new cameras coming out for Sony specifically in the RX100 family is a 2.8 lens, and I don't need the extra range. I just need that light, because the light and the exposure is so crucial when it comes to filmmaking. It's just the camera. It's the camera for keeping in your pocket, keeping with you, for running to the store. I want to vlog, I want to do some video, I'm jumping on a plane, I don't want to bring the big rig. This bad boy goes right in my pocket, and it just gives me the opportunity to create video when I feel inspired, rather than having to lug around a gear, lug around a kit. And I'll tell you, there is no mic input on this, but the built-in mics are just fine for all intents and purposes. So I love this camera, I love working with it. It has become a go-to piece of equipment for me, and I'd recommend it for you too. So that's what I got for you today. I appreciate you coming in, listening. Thanks for stopping by the channel. If you like what you're hearing, you appreciate the content, like, subscribe, tell your friends and family. There's a lot more to come. I will say that I'm much more of a creative guy than getting into the technical specs on the gear, but I've used a lot of gear in my life, from the wedding photography days to the video days to everything in between. So we'll talk about it, but we're gonna have a real conversation like this, rather than me getting into all the specs and laying it all out on the screen for you. There's plenty of videos like that. So go take a look if you're interested. Sony RX100. Hit me up in the comments if you got questions. One recommendation, buy the stuff used if you can. All my equipment's bought used. I've purchased it used. Most people, you're going to upgrade, do different things, but if you purchase it used, you get a great deal. And I can't hold this camera up anymore. There we go. I had to switch cameras for you, but yeah, just go on a website, go on fredmiranda.com. Or any of the, dppreview.com. Go to any of those sites and take a look and see if you can find the used cameras there, because you're going to save so much money. It's like list price or MSRP on a car. As soon as you drive it off the lot, it's going to depreciate. Same thing with cameras for the most part, minus the lenses. That's a whole nother story. But thanks for listening. I'm Ryan from Detroit. I appreciate you being here. And as always, remember, you're amazing. I did arms today, I worked out, and this thing just starts getting heavy. But the good thing I got that little RX100 in my pocket, you know what I'm saying? That little 4K pocket rocket, baby. That's what I'm talking about.